Hey y'all, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Derica and you are watching Shelf Love with D. Welcome back to another weekly wrap up. Y'all already know of my reads and streams. This past week I got 3 books read and they're pretty decent reads. One of them I really enjoyed and cannot wait to get back cannot wait to get into book 2, and the other 2 were good reads as well, just not as great as that 5-star read, right? So I'm gonna make this a quick little video, try to make it almost more of what this originally was supposed to be, kind of a rapid fire, but also giving you a little bit of depth so that you can know why you should even pick this book up and read it, right? Or watch this show. So let's not prolong this any longer. Let's get right into my weekly wrap up of reads first and foremost. All right, so I have my book here, y'all, and this time I took a few notes just to help jog my mind, jog my memory, make sure I don't forget any of the good tidbits that I want y'all to know about these books. First one up is It's You Every Time. So this was a Groundhog Day time loop story. It is a YA book and I rated it 4 stars. I enjoyed this book. It was a cute little read. The second time loop book that I've read within a month, which is different for me, but I guess, I don't know if this is trending or it was trending around that time. This book is only available via Audible, so you would either need to check it out through like Libby or Hoopla. I assume Hoopla has audiobooks. I've never used Hoopla, but being that Libby does, and I think they're about the same, but don't quote me on that. Do your own research. But the whole point of that is that if you want to read this book, it will have to be with your ears. As of right now, there is no physical copy for this book that you can read with your eyes. Nonetheless, I think it helped with this story. This book is about 2 grieving teens, Sydney and Marcus, and they meet in New York City at a Dunkin' Donuts. They bump into each other accidentally and end up engaging in conversation and spending that whole day together and falling in love. You know, quote unquote, the first day that they meet each other, they end up spending that whole day together. Well, come nighttime, something happens and there's a crash and boom, they wake up and it is September 24th again. So they are stuck reliving this same day and trying to work together to figure out how to get unstuck. Now, the thing about this book, it's like time loops. It's been done, right? But what I realized in this book, being stuck in the today gave them the space to explore their feelings, to deal with grief, to talk about loss, which is something that they were not doing in their everyday life. They were avoiding those conversations. They were avoiding talking about those feelings. So every day that they woke up and were repeating the same day, they'd meet again at the Dunkin' Donuts, you know, go through that same routine. But then, you know, they started getting to where it was like, well, if we are going to be stuck reliving this day, how about we live this day? So then they started exploring and doing things that they had been afraid to do and visiting places that they always wanted to visit and, you know, things like that. And then so as they started having fun together and started to bond with one another, they started to hit on heavier topics. So it was really such a cute read. The ending was bittersweet once they realized how to get stuck out of the loop, because it just didn't end the way that I wanted it to. But nonetheless, I like that as well. Even though it didn't go the way that I wanted it to, that's great, because I don't always want to be able to predict. I don't always. I don't want to be able to I don't want to be able to predict the beginning, middle, and ending of a book. I want it to be so well written that what I thought I knew or what I thought I was right about was completely wrong. I love that. I don't want to be able to guess it. Even though when it does, it's like, aha, I was right. I still very much so like to be surprised and want to be proved wrong when I'm reading these books. Would I recommend this book? Yes, if you like YA. It is a very cutesy read. Even with it being YA, I will say that it didn't just read very immaturely, but they did have some things that were issues for them that you were like, you know, is that really a big deal? But they're kids, you know, so I think they're both in high school, close to graduation age. So if you don't mind a YA book, I do feel like this is a cute, fun read. It was more thought-provoking than what I expected it to be. I actually enjoyed reading it more than I expected to enjoy it. You know, when I picked it up, When I picked up this book, it was initially because I was in the car and the books that I currently had on audio were just inappropriate for the kids to be hearing. So I was like, I need something kind of light and G to PG rated, something that's going to hold my interest, but not something that I gotta be, worried that the kids are going to overhear. And so this ended up being a really good read about love, loss, and self-discovery. So even though this book explores grief and loss of a friend, loss of a parent, it doesn't feel heavy. It is light, easy, well written, with just enough depth for a YA book to hold your interest and keep you entertained without leaving you feeling heavy, because the book does touch on grief and loss. So would recommend it if you are a YA lover. All right, moving on to the next book up is More Than My Mistakes. Okay, I rated this book 3 stars. So when I started this book, I expected to love it, especially with how chapter 1 started, the writing style. I was all for it. I even broke my Instagram break to go message the author like, hey, love this book, love your writing style. Like, I can just tell I'm going to enjoy this book. And unfortunately, that was done prematurely. Nonetheless, I still stand on the fact that I love Amanda's writing style. This book for me beat over the head what her mistake was, because they tried to make it seem like she was a person that made mistake after mistakes, bad decisions after bad decisions. And I did not get that from the way the book was written. But whenever something would happen, she'd be like, yes, of course I chose wrong, because that's just what I do. I'm always making mistakes. I'm always making bad decisions. I'm like, where? Like, I'm flipping through the book, like, what mistake did she make other than, the big one? With that being said, the book is about an aspiring filmmaker named Aria, and she is in college, living her best life, doing great, working hard. She even helps her mom at her mom's salon. And then one night she's driving home, she gets into a car wreck, and that just completely changes her life, and she just derails from there. And she just cannot forgive herself from getting behind the wheel when she was sleepy, and not only changing her life, but the lives of others, which I get, right? I can get how that would be hard to move away from. But I mean, after that happened, this girl dropped out of college, broke up with her boyfriend, cut most of her friends off for a good while, moved back home, threw away all of her dreams. Like, I don't want to be a filmmaker anymore. She started working at a bank. And I don't feel like I'm giving away too much because this is just minor details. But anyway, she just throws everything away. And it's been, I think if I remember correctly, when the book starts, it's been 2 years since that wreck. And she's just, self-sabotaging and just wallowing in self-pity and guilt. And, it just was beat over the head for me. Love the title. Love thinking about how we are more than our mistakes. We don't have to pay for our mistakes forever and be punished for our mistakes forever. That we can move on and we can become better. But when I was I want to say I was at chapter 20 something, and the book is only 32 chapters, and we were still beating over the head. All I do is make terrible mistakes, and I don't deserve love. And it was just crazy because she had an amazing boyfriend who she knew since childhood. It was her best friend's brother, and he would do anything for her. Even when the accident first happened, he was in her corner. He would just come over if she just needed company, but no conversation. He didn't try no funny business with her. He was just a friend to her, and he did not play about her. But she broke up with him, but then she'd get jealous when he was trying to move on. I don't know. It was just like I said, when the book is only about 32 chapters and we are at chapter 20 something, and you're still just I don't know if I deserve this. It would be oh, he just loves me. My best friends support me, and the woman, forgave me who I got in a car wreck with, and I had this amazing opportunity to do this filmmaker stuff. but do I really deserve this? Who am I? Like, it was a constant repetition of that. It was just beat over the head. And I feel like if the author would have just kind of cut a good amount of that out, it would have been a shorter book, but it would have just, the pacing of it would have been just so much better. The writing was done well. The banter and dialogue between the friends and and her family and all of that, it was good. It felt authentic. She did a great job with that. I just feel like she beat being more than your mistakes over your head a little too much, to where it got to where you're just like, okay, now girl, come on, when are you going to have this realization that we know is coming, that you are more than your mistakes? So with that being said, would I recommend this book? Yes, I would. I am just giving you a heads up that go into this book knowing that a good amount of the book, she is self-sabotaging. She is rolling and living in a sea of pity and guilt, and she is going to almost always destroy opportunities or moments to see that she is loved because of this guilt and shame. So with that being said, I would still recommend this book. It is deep. It has some good nuggets in it. She even has some good scripture references in it. She has an amazing group of friends who I love their little circle, and I would love to see her continue this book and focusing more on their friendship and just them living life and growing. I would love to see that. And it is called the Bloom series, so I'm hoping that the next book, it shows them living life and being their best selves and making mistakes and learning from them and dating and all that. I would love to see the bloom, I would love to see them blossom into, beautiful flowers, so to speak. So yes, I would still recommend this book. Just go into it knowing that they beat that over the head a little bit, but it is worth the read. And if it had been more of a novella, I think that would have been more appropriate for this story, and it would have got a higher rating for me. So, all right. So next book up was A Moth to a Flame by Ashley Antoinette. I rated that book 5 stars, y'all. Now listen, no shade to Jacquel J, but Miss Ashley. Okay. So they both, I know we don't like to compare and things like that. I get it. I am just saying that I have been told that Jacquel J is the queen of urban fiction. As y'all know, these past couple of weeks, I have read her books and I have enjoyed them. They are just very raw, the writing is a little rough, unedited. So I feel like Ashley Antoinette's style is a bit more refined. They both are still very good. I just feel like if you want that rugged, raw urban fiction, Jacquel J. If you want that urban fiction, but you want it more on a hustler's wife, queen vibes, my man is out in the streets, but I'm a queen, and he treats me good, then I think that's more of Ashley Antoinette's style. So it won't just be hood rats doing hood rat things. It'll be in there as well, but there's always going to be someone in the book as well that is that ninja, that is a street ninja, but he handles his business and he keeps it separate from his home, and he respects his queen, and his queen who knows her place and respects her man and doesn't give him a headache. So I loved Ashley Antoinette's writing style. It was so crazy because when I looked at this book on Goodreads, people were bashing her for being too descriptive. I didn't get that from the book. I don't know what they were talking about, but they were just like, she was too wordy and went on and on and on. I love that book down, y'all. I think that's the type of urban fiction I like. It kind of reminded me of the vibe of Coldest Winter Ever, or A Hustler's Wife, or Riding Dirty, I think is what the book is called. So an elevated or more refined type of urban fiction. You're definitely still going to get that ruggedness, but there's going to be people in the book too that is just not gutter terrible, and they're gonna know how to handle the business and how to go about it and how to live and stuff like that. So Moth to a Flame was so good. It is about a girl named Raven, and she is Flint's drug lord's daughter. So her daddy is that guy, and he's been doing his thing since back in the day. So everybody knows his name. Everybody knows not to play with him or play with his daughter or play with his family. Nobody even knows where he lives because that's how tight-lipped strict he is, and that's how well he, looks out and takes care of his family. So with that being said, his daughter grew up in this lifestyle, so it's all that she knows. Even though her daddy is a like American gangster type drug dealer, she still knows what he does, and it makes her drawn to that world even more. So she wants a bad boy, and she meets this guy named Mazan, who is Mazan is the devil. She meets him and she is just drawn to him, and she's 17 at the time, and I want to say he's a couple of years older than her. I think he's like 20 or 21 if I'm not mistaken. So if that's a problem for you, and I want to read this book, but he is a couple of years older than her. They did make it to where when they met each other, she was going to be 18 in a couple of months, because she kept harping that when her daddy and them were trying to tell her to leave him alone. So anyways, they try to tell her, he's too old for you, date somebody your age. Like you don't even know what he's truly into. This guy is not for you. And being the know-it-all teen that she is, she ends up rebelling against her father, who her and her daddy was like this. Like, she had an amazing daddy, even though he did what he did in the streets. Their relationship was amazing, and she never rebelled against her father. And that was Mazan's whole game plan, is that his game plan was basically, I'm your daddy now, and you can't be more loyal to anybody. You can't be more loyal to anybody, including your daddy, than you are to me. Like, I have to be number one. So he got inside her head. She ends up running away with him, and that just starts a domino effect of tragedy, because of the one person she chose to bring into her life. It just brought everything tumbling down and affected everybody's life. Everybody was catching strays. Y'all, this book was so good. Would highly recommend. I read this book because I was getting ready to read Ethic, and when I opened Ethic by Ashley Antoinette, she had said on the front that if you have not read A Moth to a Flame, stop now, read that first, and then get into Ethic, which I am ready to get into Ethic and eat that book up. Ethic is that guy. So anyways, Ethic is her dad's right hand. They are in business together, and he tries to save her. But what J. Cole say, don't save her. She don't want to be saved. Like, she's that person, and you just want to shake her like, Raven, what is wrong with you? Open your eyes. But we've all been there where we thought we knew better, and had to end up crawling back with our tail between our legs. But Ethic is her daddy's right hand, and he tries to save her. And she even has a moment where she's comparing Mazan to her dad and to Ethic, and like, I know that you could be a street ninja and not be this cold-hearted a-hole that you are, you know what I mean? And she knows that they are a different caliber of man, but she feels like she feels like Ethic is the man that she wants, but Mazan is the man that she can get. And I'm like, how many women feel that way? So then they just end up settling, because they believe for whatever reason, even though she had an amazing example of a man and a father, she just believed she couldn't have a man like Ethic of his caliber, So she settled for Mazan, and it is domestic violence. So, check the triggers before jumping into this book, because it is heavy. It does have a feel of darkness to it and ruggedness. It is well written. The pacing is well written. And there was a quote that stuck with me from this book, and it is, a woman can't change a man, but a man can change a woman in the worst way. And ain't that the truth? How many times have we tried to love a man into change? And most of the time it don't work. 9 times out of 10 it don't work. 9.5 times out of 10 it doesn't work. But boy, oh boy, do they change us. And it's not always for the best, because that damage that they cause, read this book, y'all. Check it out. Buy it. I want the whole series, Moth to a Flame, and I think it's Ethic 1, 2, and 3. I will be starting Ethic this coming week, and can't wait to share my thoughts with that on y'all. I'm just excited, y'all. This book was so good. So good. Okay, so moving on to my streams. This past week, my mind has just been feeling so scatterbrained, so forgetful, that anything that I watched, I wanted it to be lighthearted, something that I didn't really have to sit down and think about, but it was entertaining. So I watched a lot of cooking shows. The first show that I had watched was the barbecue show. Now me and my husband was watching that. That show was just so good. Them people was out there grilling and smoking like whole pigs and all of that. It's really entertaining, and they are really talented barbecuers. So if that is your thing and you love competitive food shows and you love barbecuing and grilling and watching people work under pressure, this is a show for you. That even there's a part of it that they have them cooking in what's called, I think, the trench, I think is what they called it, which is basically just outside cooking, like no grill, no smokers, no fancy. It's like just directly on the coal, on the wood and the ground. And so it's really entertaining, and we ran through all 3 seasons and are looking for something now to watch. So again, check that one out. The other show that I watched this past week, y'all, the show is so stupid. It's called The Vince Staples Show. So stupid, I cannot take it serious. If you like Abbott Elementary, if you like The Office and Southside, if that's another plug. If y'all have not watched Southside, oh my gosh, I watch it on Prime. It is hilarious, but we didn't watch that recently, so just wanted to drop that little plug. But the Vince Staples Show is like all those mixed up, and he's some type of rapper or something, and so his family just think that he has all this money, and it's just comical. It is very comical, very blackety black. I love it. I enjoy it. Recommend it if you want a good laugh, but you have to have more of that kind of dry sense of humor, sarcasm, type of personality to find it humorous. So again, I think if you like The Office, Abbott Elementary, Southside, those kind of dry shows like that, you will love the Vince Staples Show. All right, so that is it. That is all from our weekly wrap up. Thank y'all so much for joining me again this week. I love hopping on here talking books with y'all. Let me know down in the comments what you are currently reading. If you've read any of these books that I've talked about, let me know. Also, if you are familiar with Ashley Antoinette's writing, let me know what book I should read by her after this ethics series. And if you plan to read any of these books, let me know down in the comments as well. We are letting the giveaway go one more week, and that will be a month total. That being said, y'all, we are almost up to 500. We are at 404 as of now. I just want to thank y'all for supporting me and rocking with me. I look forward to getting to know each and every one of you. See you guys again next week. Be safe, make good choices. Until next time, don't forget to show yourself some love today.
Blessed with another chance, blessed with another chance, blessed with another chance, I am